All right, guys, this is for language page 159. We are diagramming adverbs. So we're going to do a sample first, and then we're going to do number one together, and then you just have two to do on your own. Okay, so let's take a look at the sample. Remember, adverbs describe a verb. They answer the questions how, when, or how often. Okay, so our first sentence here is, the astronaut carefully repaired the spacecraft. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to mark your sentence just like you normally would. So first we need to split our sentence into our subject and predicate part. We underline our subject once and our verb twice. Now we're going to look for any adverbs. Are there any words that tell us how often, or when the astronaut repaired the spacecraft? Okay, so how did he repair it? He carefully repaired it. So we circle carefully and then we draw our arrow to repaired because it's describing repaired. So now we're ready to diagram. So our subject is always on the first side, and you already know that. So our subject is astronaut. Okay, and then our verb goes on the next line, the astronaut repaired. And then our adverb goes under the verb because that's what it's describing. Adjectives go under the subject because adjectives describe nouns. Adverb goes under the verb because it describes the adverb. So on the line we would write carefully. Okay, astronaut carefully repaired. So let's take a look at number one. So if you don't have your book out, go ahead and get that out now. This is page 159, number one. Okay, here we go. Molly poured hot syrup on her pancakes slowly. So the first thing we need to do is I want you to draw your line to divide your sentence between subject and predicate parts. So do that now. Okay, you should have drawn your line between Molly and poured. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to underline our verb twice. So what is the action? Do that now. You should underline poured twice. That's what's happening in the sentence. Now underline your subject one time. You should have underlined Molly. Who poured? Molly poured. Now I want you to circle the adverb. So you want to look for a word that answers how she poured, how often she poured, or when she poured. And you should have circled slowly. Now in your book, it's all in one line, so you can just draw your arrow. Mine, I had to write it on two lines. And make sure you draw it back to the verb that it's describing. Okay, now we can diagram. So we have our subject, Molly. What did Molly do? She poured. And how did she pour? She slowly poured. Okay, so you have two more to do, which isn't much. And just be careful, number three, you do have two subjects, so you'll have to diagram both of them. One goes on each line. Okay, there you go, guys.